All right. Let's turn this off. How's it going? How's it going? What's going on, Sonny Kim? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm just getting set up here. Give me one sec. Ooh, it's hot out there today, clamming. Whew. We're ready to do some fly tying. My buddy was out here actually the other day and happened to run into a little bit of a blitz situation near the ocean and got some fish, which was awesome. So you love to see that. Pipe that plover. There you go. Yeah, piping plovers, that's right. It's important. Close off the beach. All right. Slayed a few. That's right. That is right. Oh, hold on. All right. Let's take this off. Switch it up, shall we? Big Jim's Bow Hunting Company. That's right, brother. That's right. Big Jim's Bow Hunting Company. I love this shirt. I just need a proper pickup truck for it. The back of it's even better. It's a dude getting chased up a tree by a hog with a bow in his hand. All right. I hope everyone's doing well. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Let's put this stuff down there. Let's see what sort of hooks we got. So I figured we'd tie some summertime or fall time flies. And I wanted to tie some more. We do have some nice like juvenile fluke imitations and whatnot that we tied, but I'd like to tie some more stuff and also perhaps get ready for the fall time fishing as well. So maybe some bait fish, maybe some crab patterns. Maybe we'll do some like lighter colored crab patterns because I really want to try and do some sight fishing at some point. Or at least flats fishing, you know what I mean? Hey, Doc, how's it going? What was that fish that you caught? Was that a sea run trout or was that a salmon? I wasn't certain. Yeah, let's tie some crab flies. We'll do some like tan crab flies. I think we tied a juvenile green crab, invasive green crab, but we'll go for like a calico or lady crab or lady. Yeah, lady crab. Oh. All right. I should have some smaller dumbbell eyes. Kind of chucked all my dumbbell eyes in here. I don't know why. They don't really belong here, but I was like, yeah, we'll put them here. Yeah, these look good. I'm not going to be using these. Ah, look at that. We also dropped a dubbing brush. That's the perfect color on the ground. Who would have thought? That was the sea trout. Yeah, beautiful coloration on it. I wasn't certain. It's amazing how light the brown trout get when they go out to the ocean, huh? Very cool. I love it. Very cool to see. Yes, Crabbo Mike. Yeah, we've been clamming. It's getting a little crazy out here. 4th of July people love coming out here, so. All right, let's put some dumbbell eyes on here. Now, again, if I had some, like a dull tan nail polish or something, like Alan Calejo used to recommend. Because the one thing is you don't really want to use like super shiny hooks and shiny eyes when you're fishing in really, really clear water, but you never know. But it kind of helps to dull it down with some dull nail polish. Unfortunately, I don't have any nail polish. So who would have thought? I used to have Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails, but now I pretty much just use the Hard as Hull fly tying head cement. Back in the day, though, you used to just go to Eckerd's and get Sally Hansen's. That was a trick Mark Sadati showed me back in the day at a fly tying club. All right. What what are we going to do here for the back? I'm thinking maybe some rubber legs. You know what I mean? Perhaps some feathers of some sorts. Because I like to get funky with crab flies. You can go pretty simple and just tie a merkin. We got some interesting colored legs here, like some tan and some kind of orange and black, which looks pretty nice. I have some of this felt as well, which isn't... Oh, you know one thing I do have, which I'm almost certain, yeah. I actually have like legit crab stuff. We have arms and bodies. So that's cool. We should use some of that, I guess. Oh, we also got green crab ones. There you go, perfect. I forgot I had this. You know, when in Rome, I guess. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, happy preemptive 4th of July for everybody. Might go clamming in the morning. Who knows? Nothing more American than going hard clamming commercially on the 4th of July. You know what I mean? Listening to hip hop or something. Or like Motley Crue. But we'll see. We might not. Maybe they're not picking up stuff because they're like, man, no, brother, we want to drink some beers. All right. You know, I think this is interesting. Let's try one of these EP crab bodies and legs out and see how we can perhaps spruce it up to our liking. You know what I mean? And see what we could do. We got a dumbbell eye on there. We should probably try some as well without dumbbell eyes and just doing like lead wire or something, you know? All right. I know it's okay. It likes the green crab flies for the blackfish. Yeah, you could see we could just tie this something like this. So ideally, probably tie something off the back first. What to tie off the back? Maybe a couple rubber legs. And then I'm thinking we'll palmer some hackle. Something like that. Just to, like, you know, start her off. Kind of just fold that over like that. Oh man, it's going to get hot in here. What's going on, Gabe? How's it going? I put my AC on, but I don't think I put it on early enough. Alright. I'll take some hackle here. And palmer this up. I'm actually going to go pretty far back just because where this crab body is going to sit. Because I do like having a mix of natural materials with synthetics. Just to have that little bit of life in there. I should say former life, but... Big Jim's Bow Company, that's right. Hey, I forgot you're into traditional bow hunting, right? Yep. I also got my Three Rivers archery hat that I literally wear every day to go clamming just because I didn't have another hat. Yeah, that's right. There you go. Now the arms. The arms, believe it or not, don't go off the back. They usually go... Now, we can have one off the back. Because if you've ever seen a crab swim, they kind of do something like this. Where they put their arms to the side and paddle with their feet. But we are going to tie the arm on, then the body. It's going to be a little funky, but... So we'll probably do something like... Something... I'm trying to picture the shape of the crab, where the arm would be. Something like this. As it's swimming away. If you've ever seen crabs doing something like that. Pull it slightly like that. Yeah, I like that. Now, we could take this crab body here. How do we want to put this? I'm just looking at how it was cut, because these are probably mass manufactured. These are the EP crab bodies. You'll probably like this fly tying session, Southern Fly Guy. I'm going to try and tie it right at the end, essentially. And then fold it up. Essentially is what I'm going to attempt to do here. It's kind of tough because of the hook point, but almost helps to have a little bit of a larger hook. But you know what? This works. I'm just going to fold that up to make it easier. But then we're going to fold that back down, and this arm is going to fold back like this to give us that swimming crab look, if you've ever seen crab swimming. Yep, longbow man, that's right. Hell yeah, brother. Forgot we were talking about that. I'll just leave that like bump on there, but maybe this is where we fold it back. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I like that. Because you want it, in, you know, kind of positioned in the body somewhere. Now I do want to, this is kind of long, I do want to fill in the body slightly. This is also a pretty thick dubbing brush. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to V-tie some tan EP fiber. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, the arms are neat. They're EP crab arms. They're like a pre-made arm. Oh, this is even better. I made this old dubbing brush. This is like perfect. Just to kind of fill it in a little bit. Because this is a 3-inch EP dubbing brush. But yeah, these are what they look like, by the way. EP crab bodies. For the bodies, and then for the arms, crab claws. I got these at Whitewater Outfitters here on Long Island. Alright. We got our brush. Pull this back. I'll go ahead and tie in our dubbing brush here. And I'm just going to loosely wrap this while guiding it back. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? Yeah, it's okay. I'll tie you up some Blackfish green crab ones, don't worry. How do I want to do this? Yeah, I guess we'll go like this. Let's move our thread. This is where I wrap it. I usually try to go for quick and simple stuff when it comes to stuff like this. So I'll like make a dubbing brush. I have a dubbing brush table. And my good friend Tyler made, who I haven't heard in forever. But hopefully he's doing alright. Let's go ahead and hit this with the brush. Which I need to break out the dubbing brush table again. We should probably do a dubbing brush stream. You can buy them. It's kind of a pain. Luckily, it's not he was. I don't think he's dead. He's very handy with carpentry stuff, so he built me a very nice dubbing brush after finding a YouTube tutorial. Maybe one day I'll hear from him. Alright. Pull all this stuff down. I never tied this, but it is set by the dubbing brush, and it'll also kind of move in the water, you know what I mean? So, fine with me. I wish I could have tied it a little bit cleaner there, but you know what? That's okay. There we go. Throw a whip finish on here. We'll hit this with some head cement and stuff. And essentially, we have like a swimming crab fly, just to show you real quick. I'm going to hit it with a Sharpie. And I'll probably also, you can also do something else I'll show you to make it more durable, but you can see how the arms are sticking out And this will fold in when you strip it, have a little action to it. It's kind of like a strawn arm, essentially, but with a crab body. Let's pull this off to the side, because I like this little fuzzy bits, you know what I mean? You could trim it up just a little bit. I like making my crab flies look buggy, you know what I mean? Little feelers and fuzzy bits and stuff like that. One thing we can do, I actually have some of this flux resin. We're going to apply a little bit of resin on the bottom side here and kind of press these, what do you call it, these fibers in and like just make the whole thing stronger. So what I'm going to try and do actually is like soak this like this. It's very viscous, by the way. Let's kind of press it in there. I'm going to use the bodkin to help, but and then we'll hit this with the light. This will make this more durable. This is also flex resin, so it's not very abrasive. You know what I mean? If this fish like mouths it for a second or two. Let me make sure I get some in the back, because I don't want this thing to break, is the main thing. There we go. And you can pull that hair down into that resin. And we'll hit that with a light. Yeah, there's epoxy body crabs or hot glue crabs like Glenn Mickelson used to do. There's all sorts of crazy stuff. Where's the light? What did I do with my light? It should be around. Did I charge it? No. What did I do with it? Where could it be? Let me take a look real quick. I don't think it fell or something. I must have brought it maybe downstairs or something. I forgot. Do I have another one up here? I'm really surprised that it's actually not up here, though. All right, give me 1 sec. I'm going to go run and grab my UV light real quick. It must be downstairs. I must have been doing something with it. 1 sec. Un momento, por favor. Where the hell is this thing? Oh, that's crazy. I really don't know where it could be. I think I have a backup one somewhere. Like an old one. That is so weird. Unless it's like right in front of me and I'm an idiot. No, I don't see it. Oh, I am an idiot. I forgot. I stuck it over there because it was like literally had resin on it. Well, at least, you know, got a couple steps in. Also let out a good amount of the AC that I had going from before, but yeah, those EP bodies are really nice, Southern Fly Guy. I like them a lot. fly fish for blackfish? Yes. Oh yeah, Gabe, one of our moderators on Twitch and one of my good friends. I tied him essentially green crab flies for blackfish in particular, but you definitely can catch them on the fly. We've caught sea bass by accident all the time, albie fishing, particularly on the north shore of Long Island or places where there's very rocky outcroppings and stuff like that close, or particularly off a boat when you're in like prime blackfish area. So you can definitely catch them on the fly, but you have to use sink tips, and they're also very scent based and stuff like that, so it's tough. I don't know if you'll be able to catch like a trophy one, but unless you dunk it in some crab juice. You know what I mean? Okay. Hit this with the light one more time. Hey, Jim, with the 40 months. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. How you doing? Hope everything's going good. Yeah, see, you can see it's flexible, so it's not like, what do you call it? It's not super coarse and tough in case like a striped bass or like a redfish or something grabs the crab. Dirty in Jersey? Nice. Yeah, apparently the bunker moved off from the ocean here. I don't know if we had some algae recently. It like looked really cool. It looked like Caribbean waters. It was wild. We were going out clamming every day, but I think it was some sort of algae bloom or something. But I don't know if the bunker sensed that and moved away or what. But yeah, we'll see. It looks like the water's been getting a little bit. It depends. Some days it's nice, super nice and clear, but it's a little bit dirty nowadays. So there we go, our little swimming crab fly here. Let's go ahead and take a black Sharpie and make a couple dots here, because I'll tell you one thing. Crabs have pretty darn good natural camouflage out there on the flats. Even the fish turn a tannish color if you've ever seen a tan striped bass on top instead of dark, almost like a black, or a gray. It's because when they spend, pretty much long amounts of time in really light colored sandy bottoms, like in the bay here where I am, they turn very light, almost this tan color. It's very cool to see. We're giving Big Jim's too much free airtime today. He's sucking up free advertising here. When I caught the tog in CT, it was on a kayak, and yes, I used the T48 sink tip. Yep. Yeah, sink tips and stuff like that are really important when you're fishing for blackfish. I think I actually might eat some crab tomorrow, because AC Fishing, they do something every year and they have crabs usually, like blue claw. And last year, me and someone was in charge of cooking them, and they were like getting out and like attacking my jeans, like pinching my legs. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, I'm not doing this next year. This is BS. Nobody told me it was going to be this intense. The crabs are like fighting for their lives. Felt bad for them, but it's a crab, man eat crab world out there. You gotta watch out. So this is a tarpon hook. I have a bunch of these. Figured let's use some of these as well. Now we have more crab bodies, but we also have crab arms and stuff like that. So let's see if we can maybe utilize this crab body slightly differently. Also, try not to rip it while pulling it off. That's a good note. 3 this is a size 1. I also have size 2s as well, but I'm trying to eye up Yeah, see, this is a little small, but what you can do is, a little trick here. We can do something like this. So I'm just going to estimate. I think it's somewhere around here from looking at it. We can do something like this. Here, I'll show you. It's a little bit easier to do when it's on the vise. And then we could tie it down like that. Right? And that's nice and clean. You know what I mean? So I'll take this off for now. We'll tie some material right there. We'll lay that on top. Because it's a little bit harder to do it with it on there, obviously. And now for a 2-aught, let's grab a 2-aught tarpon hook and take a look and see how this looks. This one might be long enough that we can tie it, but it doesn't look that clean when you tie it on there, you know what I mean? Is the issue. Unless you tie it right at the tip, so you're not scrunching it. Let's take a look here. So if we go like something like this, even then, so what we could do here is, I think these are pretty short shank hooks in general, these tarpon hooks. I think we want to put it right at the end without ripping it, just like that. And that's like perfect. It's like a perfect size, so let's go ahead and use this. This is the 2-aught. Well, we could also do a size 1 as well. Now, one thing for our fishing in particular, I don't know if it matters as much with redfish, but if your flies are too loud, like when they hit the water, if they're too heavy or something like that, the striped bass are so spooky because there's like boat traffic, there's this, that, it's crazy. Like you could be sight fishing in the middle and there's like jet skis going over the flats or something. Like, it's not a very secluded spot, so the fish are very finicky. So just we've even noticed trying to do it is like if your fly hits the water and is too loud, it's like 1.5 feet or like 2 feet of water, but it's like crystal clear. It's almost like Bahamas, you know what I mean? Like just bone clear on beautiful bright sand. So it's like the fish are very finicky in water like that. They don't feel super comfortable. All right, so I know what we're going to be doing. So that means we're going to be tying most of it right there, and then we're going to slip it on. So I don't want to go too far forward, actually. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to glue the whole bottom. You know what I mean? Without interfering with too much of the material, that is. Yeah, so this is the size 2-aught must add. So how do we want to do this? Because that's going to be laying on there. So you probably want rubber legs going side to side like that. For the regular crab arms, you want them tied like this in the middle. Because you do want rubber legs even if you have crab arms, because these are the claws. You still need legs, right? You don't need it, but, you know, for fun, you need it. So let's go get some of these tan legs. We could go with the bright orange and black, but this is much more subtler. And for flats fishing is what I like. Hey, Marcus. Good, good. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. By the way, look at my fingernails. This is from sorting clams. I don't use gloves or anything. But like from sorting clams every day, my hands are getting so fucked up. Because there's just like scallop shells. There's, what do you call it? But I was just noticing this the other day. I'm like, oh my god, I don't even need to worry about cutting my fingernails because they're just getting destroyed, like chipped away. Yeah, we're gonna go with tan here. But good. I've just been clamming with my buddy, and having a good time. We're gonna be doing some fly tying. I haven't been doing much fishing, but I like to get out soon, so it's been pretty nice. Dirty hands, clean money. That's right. Hell yeah. This is true. Let's tie the, I guess, rubber leg first. We'll probably cut these in half as well. We're going with fancy crabs today. I do like having like the natural material, like I said, so I'm just gonna go with like a little bit of this hackle at the end, because it's, even though we're gonna be folding that crab body on it, it's gonna splay out, but that's all right. Actually, I should be doing this from the tip. What am I doing? There we go. Much better. I'll Palmer this on there. I do like having a little bit of natural material, even if I'm using all the synthetic stuff. It is nice. It's going to be like pushing the water, sending little vibrations out there. We like those sort of things in flies. You can always make sure that's nice and taut. Also, mic check, mic check. Yeah, the mic's good, right? Yeah. I was checking my levels. I want to make sure we're not peaking. Make sure we ain't peaking. Well, there's definitely not in Jersey, the bunker. What? There's no bunker in Jersey? We had 4 netters off coast, and people are pissed. What are we talking about? Virginia? Yeah, you're not allowed to do that in New York State. We do it all by hand, inshore. Offshore netting or purse seining or whatever it's called is not allowed anymore. Posture check. Thank you there. Thank you, Gabe. Give you a couple neck cracks. How about that? Oh, God. Somebody called the doctor. Oh, man, it's getting hot here. That's okay. I like turned the AC on. I was like, all right, I got to put the AC on a little bit beforehand, cool the place down a little bit. I should have done it for like 2 hours. So what we're going to do, we're going to tie everything on. And then we're going to fold on the body and tie that on. And, yeah. I mean, I guess we could technically just, like, push it up now at this point. Let's just do it. Leave it on there. Where was our original attack point? The entry point right here. And we'll just do something like this for now to keep it simple. That's good enough out of the way. Okay. Oh, yeah. I didn't even put dumbbell eyes on. So do we want to attempt to not use dumbbell eyes? I think if we use a good amount of resin, because the whole thing is I'm attempting to have that super clean crab body on there. And if we tie a good amount of lead wire, I think we'll be all right. So, tie the lead wire on the bottom. Probably should have started with that, but that's okay. We're going to get a little nutso here. Just fold these back. Usually I like to cut them, but these are for me. I don't care. I'm being lazy. This totally works. If I was doing like a slammer, I would cut them and be a little bit more precise with it, a little bit more delicate. Tie another layer on there. I'm just building like a pyramid, essentially, is what I'm doing out of lead wire. This is thick lead wire. It's 0.035, I think, or something. There we go. Okay. That should help flip the hook. Now, mind you, this is a 2-aught tarpon, so I guess we'll see. We might load it up with some resin here. So we got legs. I want to continue putting legs, but I think now is the time we add our first leg, or claw, I should say. Put that away. And then what I like to do is tie this forward like this to get it out of the way, because this is essentially what it's going to be like, is like this, folded back, right? We could go with our dubbing brush again, but you know what? I was mentioning natural materials. Let's Palmer some more hackle. I do like that. I have like a tower of fly tying material in like storage containers next to me. It's crazy. Now I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind like some orange. Yeah, to almost imitate like an egg sac. You know what I mean? I think I do have orange hackle. I need to see. We might have literally used it all tying shark flies, because that was the only reason I bought orange hackle. Oh, I do have a little bit. Nice. Yeah, if you're ever tying shark flies, just tie everything orange, because for some reason, like evolutionary wise, they're just innate. They innately want to attack or eat orange things. So don't use orange life vests, is what we came to the conclusion. Because they would only eat orange flies, is what we figured out. They didn't care about anything else. You're tying all these cool, like, you could probably use them for like marlin and tuna. They look so sick, these tube flies. They only ate stuff with orange in it. It was so funny. Like bright, bright orange. It's got to be something with how they observe colors or something. But it took me many, many chum buckets and shark trips to figure that out. Just at least the Long Island sharks is from what I can tell you. They love orange. And I think we looked it up. There's like a reason. Like sharks prefer... Like they were testing life vest colors or something. And orange is like the most attacked color. That or yellow. But it's also the most visible color. So it's like... the default high vis color for emergency stuff. I was like, I don't know about having orange life vests in the boat. Like, after our observation of how aggressive they are to the color orange, it's crazy. It was like the only color they responded to. Seriously. It was actually pretty interesting. It was like our little trying to figure out how to trick a shark to eat a fly. It was not easy. Because they're very smart. They'll come up and literally mouth it. Teeth it. And, you know, so at times we were like trying to hook it at that point. But you can't hook a shark until they turn sideways, is what we learned with a fly. You'll just literally pull it out of their mouth. So you have to wait till they turn sideways. And that means that they need to keep it in their mouth. You know what I mean? Because they'll approach, grab the fly, put it in their mouth, like chew it a little, and then spit it out. And they'll do it like 10, 15 times. Keep coming back, and we'll try and tease them. And then eventually they'll just kind of grab it one time and then turn sideways. Not like fast, really slow, and then you just pull it tight and you hit it a couple times, and boom, they just go flying. It's so cool. We're going to get, Yo, It's Okay to do it one day. I know you're watching on YouTube on a different name, but I'm just going to keep calling you Yo, It's Okay. So, it's so much fun. It's so boring for the hours that you're waiting, but it is pretty wild. I do enjoy it. It's pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's not like, you know, we can't even target Makos now, but it's not like Conway Bowman cool in San Francisco, but I still haven't caught a blue shark on the fly, even though it's like a dumb thing. That's something I'd like to attempt. I don't think we've actually even gone far enough yet, so we've only gone like 12, 13, 14 miles the most. I think we got to go like 20 or 30 to find them. That's when we're getting a little bit more serious. Yep. Yeah, but this is sitting there in like 90-degree heat on the boat. And the thing is, when you're like out in the actual ocean, you know what I mean? There's no shade, there's nothing. Like we were all just like laying on the deck of my boat. Like me and Nick were like hiding under the gunnels in the shade, like, oh, with like towels on our head after like 3 hours. Like we're just sitting there staring at the baits and like making a little bit of noise here and there. Cutting up bunker, the smell of bunker. Oh, it's fucking terrible. I hate it. It was the one time I got seasick with shark fishing with Nick. Ah, okay. Convoy, huh? I think we were gonna like do that with Jeff. Like I was gonna chum and he was gonna hang out near us with his boat too. And I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work, to be honest with you. I don't know, but I guess perhaps. I mean, to be honest with you, some days out there it's like glass. It's crazy how nice it is. You could probably just tie up two boats together. But the thing is, if a shark goes between the two boats, then you're pretty screwed. Makes things a little bit more difficult. Bring a kayak, hook a shark, go viral. Yeah, until you die. No, we're not doing that. It's crazy talk. Those guys in like Hawaii on that Discovery show or something, they're like going out in kayaks. I think one of them ended up unfortunately dying or something like that. I saw recently some kayaker got like attacked by a shark and died, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. It gets a little intimidating when you're out at like 200 feet out there, like 11 to like 15 miles or whatever, and you can't even see the beach anymore for sure. Definitely gets a little intimidating. I don't think you could pay me to jump in while we're chumming, so let's just say that. It ripped. That's okay. Let me grab a new one. It's still usable, but I just want a pristine one for our experiment here. I could actually probably tie it off, but I technically need to tie it at the end. Let me just pop this off real quick. No, it wasn't tied on there. It's literally just poked, which is great. We just poke it on there. Now, it's not durable like this, but once we apply resin and whatnot, it'll be golden, so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to splay or like open this hackle so it's off to the sides. Pull, but not pull too tight. This is where you can adjust in the back here. This is the whole point of us doing this. It's actually not tied in at the back, so I want it taut, but not too tight, and then I can wrap it. Yeah, there we go. That's much cleaner like that. Instead of having to tie it on there. Now, we are going to need to use resin on the bottom, but it's also going to help add to the weight, so I think we'll be all right there. That's how you do it. Go ahead and throw some whip finishes on there. And I'll show you real quick actually how we do it. You literally just go boop, boop, boop with a Sharpie real quick. Just go sporadic, make it uneven. All right. So now here is where it gets a little bit more complicated. We got rubber legs, we got hackle, lead wire, and our claws. But what I'd like to do is fill this bottom with resin, so I need to be a little careful with how I do it. So I'm going to kind of build it up. So I'm going to pull all this back so I can get in there underneath it. Or, you know, what we could do is, let's see, how do we do this? It'd probably be best just not even tie the hackle in there if we're trying to do this cleanly. So maybe we'll do that on the next one, but I couldn't help myself because it looks sick. Yeah, I think we'll do what we did last time, but I'm going to try and be a little bit more precise. Yeah, like that. And then what I can do is I can just press down on the body when I'm ready. Essentially, like that, and that'll essentially push the resin out onto the hackle. evenly. Let's see if I can get a zoom in here. So now that hackle should be like completely adhered to that to that body. And that way I'm not getting too personal with that hackle down there in the bottom where I'm actually like interfering. Because once you start like gluing all of this with resin, it just gets wild and out of control. Because the hackle's taut, it's doing its own thing with polymer. I'd rather leave it, so I just applied the resin underneath the body in a pretty liberal amount, but in a concentrated area, and then pushed it down to where it squeezes out and hits the hook shank, but also hits the hackle without causing a complete and utter mess, essentially. And I can always go in and just fill it ever so slightly on the sides here. And now we're just going to hit it with the light from underneath. And look at that. It ends up being like a really nice, clean crab look, which I really like. Let's go ahead and hit that with a light. Yeah, it's fun using these little crab bodies and arms. It is fun. Now, what's even more impressive is someone like Glenn Mickelson. If you've ever seen his epoxy or... I'm pretty sure he was using some sort of like a hot acrylic or like an acrylic glue gun or something. Like, I don't even know what it was, but it's in my Innovative Saltwater Flies book. It's very interesting. But they're almost completely clear. They're some of the greatest looking crab flies I've ever seen. I had one that I bought years ago. I should look up how we tie those because they're pretty interesting. I think we can use resin and stuff, but I think you want to use like whatever sort of acrylic glue he was using. And I think you just build it up. Like liquid fusion, unfortunately, is a little too, what do you call it? It's not viscous enough to retain its shape while it dries. Yo, Puffy. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. This is looking pretty good, though. Now, of course, the one thing we're missing, crab eyes. Do I think the fish care? No. But we probably should do one with crab eyes because we're doing all these variations, if you will. Now, I may actually have some. I'm going to look real quick. If not, then when I take a break, I'm going to bring a lighter back when I come up. I'm just hitting this real good with the light real quick, because I don't want to worry about the resin. Because there is resin underneath this thing, essentially. And again, this is a flex resin, so it's pretty durable, but it's not very hard. It also moves and bends, which is really nice. Probably to be safe, the safest way to do is stick this under the sun upside down, which I'll do in a little bit, but there we go. There's our little EP crab with EP arms and whatnot. And eggs as well. It could be a little mole crab as well. Even though they don't have claws like that. Doesn't really matter. It just needs to be the generic shape. You know what I mean? We also have our little juvenile fluke flies and whatnot. So you can see there's all sorts of ways you could go about tying crustaceans for striped bass during the summertime, because they do love eating just about anything out here that they can easily predate on. All right. We do have one more tan one here with our body that we just did, but this is the smaller hook. So let's go ahead and try that again. This time I'm not adding anything too crazy underneath, and we're going to just hit it with epoxy, and we're going to make it pretty heavy. That's what we're doing. Need crab googly eyes. True. True. Something Mall Dropper would say for sure. Are you sure you ain't Mall Dropper? All right. Let me, Now, I did have some eyes. Yes, yes. I do have some. You know, I did specifically buy googly eyes just for our viewer mole dropper. We haven't seen it in a bit because I wasn't streaming for a while, but every time we tie the fly, he goes, you know what look good on that fly? Googly eyes. Yeah, I actually have some pre-made crab fly eyes in here, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm saving 2 for Yo It's Okay's green crab fly that we're going to tie after the break. But yes, there should be 2 more. And we can use on this one. If I got them pre-made, I'll use them. Otherwise... So I'll show you, like, if you really want to see my crab fly. I think there was one crab fly I was tying where it was, like, the most simplest crab fly ever. And, some of the fly shops were asking me for crab flies, and I sent it to them. They were like, do you have anything, like, with a little bit more pizzazz to it? I'm like, this is what I catch everything on. So this is what I recommend. Even though it doesn't look good, this is like, I mean, it looks very basic. This is the one. It's essentially just like a merkin. With a little bit of rubber legs and, what do you call it? Either like a rabbit strip off the back or some palmered marabou. And super simple. You know what I mean? Doesn't need to be tricky. And just we would anchor up in my boat on the edge of the big flats. We weren't even sight fishing. We were attempting to because you can, but I don't have like a poling platform and stuff like that. It's kind of tough. I used to be scared of like getting going too shallow and whatnot and this and that, but now like after commercial stuff, I'm gonna be taking that boat everywhere. You'd be surprised what you could do with boats. I used epoxy and black dye in it. Just goop it on the end of the mono. Yeah, so what I did for these are beads. Bought these at the actual, they were selling them specifically for fly time, but you could just find small glass black beads. And then you put them on the mono, burn the end of the mono, and then put a little bit of UV resin on there and hit it with the light. And it actually makes a pretty cool looking eye like that. I used to just take monofilament, burn it to where it was big enough, and then hit it with a Sharpie, and then hit it with some epoxy is what I used to do. But yeah. I mean, I bought a little thing from them, and it's like from Hairline or whatever, but I bought it, and I never really do a lot of eyes on crab flies, so I have so many. What weight rod would you need for Blackfish? I would probably say like probably like a 9 weight or an 8 weight. Not because you necessarily need a 9 weight for like, you know, Blackfish fight super hard, but they're like down by the rocks and you're using heavy sinking lines. So you want to be able to like wrangle them out and quickly get them up so they don't get too, you know what I mean? They don't get into the rocks, or not to mention they're probably going to be sometimes in like pretty strong current areas if you're fishing off a boat or something like that. G. Loomis Predator is what Yo It's Okay saying. All right, we do have some eyes. This one we're going to be a little bit more simpler and clean, if you will. We're going all synthetic. So just right off the back, if we put that on there, we would need to do that first. Slide it up, then slide it back. We can do that. That's actually a good idea. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So we go like this, push. Here, I'll just redo it. It's fine. I probably should have done it the other way. Or we'll go from the front. That's fine too. Don't mind me. You'll see what I'm talking about here, what I'm doing. Because we kind of have to put the tail on first, because I'm going to be gluing the bottom. Tie this on there. Just do a couple wraps of this. Actually, but now that I think about that, is that going to be... I think that should be okay. We'll see. I don't want to go too far forward because I am going to have to then put this body back. So let's see. We go like this. Hit this with a brush real quick. And now I'm going to come back. Let's see if we can do this. Oh yeah, I guess we can. Kind of actually want to go, just because this is screwed up, we're going to go like this. Does work though. Okay. Coolio. And that, some of those fibers are sticking up actually. It's pretty cool looking. I'm not going to do lead wire in this one. I'm going to use dumbbell eyes just because it's far more convenient for me. And I have millions of them. Kind of getting them off the bottom, the G Loomis Predator. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. Nice stiff rod, or nice fast action fly rod to get them off the bottom. Hell yeah. Hey, Crosswolf, thank you for the follow. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, but appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. I'm actually going to put this pretty far back to where it's going to be hopefully hidden under this crab body. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any more tan arms, so I think we're just going to use some regular arms. We can cut these in half. Would be nice to have some of those fancy crab arms, but that's okay. And we're pretty much just going to let all the pre-made stuff do our job for us. We do need to tie our eyes on, so this is probably where we do it, either here or before this, but that's fine. Because we're going to have our body like that, so we want our eyes the right length, so something like that looks good. You can just tie that in, who cares? They're going to be sticking like that. We don't have any fancy claws, but that's okay. I do have some olive ones, but we'll save those. Not every single one needs fancy pre-made claws. We could use some feathers, technically. But I think these legs in themselves are going to give it a nice buggy look. And now I'm actually going to tie this eye facing that way, so they're different. They're offset because their eyes are pretty far apart. So they can help see potential prey and predators. Kind of like that. Cut that. We'll go ahead and hit some, oop, a little too much super glue there, but that's fine. And then we'll go ahead and hit this. Just like one more rubber leg on here, if I can fit it right around these eyes. All right. Finally. We actually have a little super glue on there is actually already intervening or getting that crab body in place, so I guess we're just going to use that to our advantage. Something just like that. We'll go ahead and move this eye out, make it a little bit more visible. We got to position our little rubber legs here. And then we can go ahead and hit it with some UV resin. Kind of lock that in place underneath. So this is what we're going to do. Take some more flex resin, because flex resin is great for stuff like this. Because, again, striped bass might be like teething this thing, trying to figure out if it's a real crab or not. So we'll pull this stuff down, and we're just going to hit the whole bottom of this with a pretty good amount of resin. This will also help weight down the fly. And we're just going to make sure everything's kind of coated here, nice and neat and simple. You just want a nice even coat to help lock everything down. You don't got to go too crazy. You can see these legs are getting a little non-compliant, but that's okay. And we're just going to lock this down. Might need to do 2 coats, we'll see. I'm just going to essentially try and smooth this somewhat flat. So this will also help weight the fly and help turn it over as well. Now we can just hit that there, like that. You can also kind of get the eyes where you want it, right? You can get everything in place, the legs. I wasn't too worried about it. Just kind of get it on there, get a basic nice thick coat on there, and then we'll probably hit it with one more. You can see though from the top we get a really nice looking clean crab fly, which is sometimes more preferable. I guess it depends. I don't mind going with funky crab flies though, you know, like nice and buggy looking ones. Sometimes I like using the really funky looking ones. All sorts of hackle and whatnot. Okay, so now we'll just hit it with one more, kind of round it out. Add even more weight, just a little bit. Kind of just like this. And again, this is also just going to lock down that body and whatnot. And for sure, this is going to help turn the fly over because we have even more weight now. So just go around and make sure it's kind of even. You can take a look as well, kind of round it out, give it a nice polished look if you'd like. It's looking good. Put that cap on top so we don't make a mess. Now I can hit that with the light and cure it. So has anyone, what sort of fishing has everyone been doing? I know Doc has gone out and caught some sea run brown trout. We know Yo It's Okay, or JS over here, was catching some striped bass recently. Has anyone else been doing some fishing? I would like to go do some myself. We've been clamming every day, but just kind of hit this with the light here, looking nice. I forgot to tie the bobbin off, which I just remember now, but that's fine. It doesn't really make a difference. There we go. I don't think that thread's going anywhere now, that's for sure. Ah! Way too much super glue. What was that? It came pouring out. That's alright. That's what we have the tip of a feather for. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. we can kind of trim these so they're varying in lengths. These rubber legs, keep the ones in the back a little bit larger. Very nice. Let's go ahead and hit it with some, give it some coloration real quick. It's almost a little bit more like a lady crab, if you will, but actually, yeah, let's not do black. Let's use olive. There we go. Very nice. I like the look of that. We got our eyes on there. We got our rubber legs. You got a little bit of dubbing material kind of sticking right up the top because it was pushed up through that body. Let's see what it looks like off the vise. Here, it's the easiest way. You can see what that looks like. Nice. Another neat little crab fly. Buggy looking crab fly to hopefully catch some striped bass this summer is the idea. You could definitely see this is definitely going to fall and swim properly with all that resin on the bottom. This one's pretty heavy, which sometimes you need that because it actually sometimes will be in like 3-4 foot of water. And we just fish sink tips near the edge of flats where the fish cruise and come up on the flat and predate on different bait and stuff. So, all right, let's take a quick little break. I'm gonna wash that lead wire off my hands and this resin off my hands, and just take a quick little stretch break, and get some fresh air real quick because it's quite hot. I'm gonna put the AC on while I step away. But we got our Albie highlight, so we'll just be back in a couple minutes. So don't go anywhere, and we're gonna keep on tying some more crab flies, and whatever else we can kind of concoct in our minds for some summertime striper flies. So I'll see you in a little bit, all right? Do not go anywhere unless you want to, because you're allowed to. But I'll be back in a little bit, all right? So, yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Stay tight, all right? Yeah, keep it tight. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Aiden. Knuckle buster. Are you good? Do you need me to do anything?
Yeah, I might need a ride. Yes.
Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna turn now.
I'm gonna try and get on the bow.
Yeah, get on the bow. All right, you're doing good. Keep doing your thing. I'm gonna move us away.
Is that a little one?
No, that's a nice one.
Oh, let's go!
Come here, hold next to our alley. Good job.
That's sick.
All right. Nice.
Let's go! Woo! Albie slap!
Good job, dude.
Yee!
You're in the back already? Yeah.
tuny, bro. On the alligator too.
Oh my god, dude! What the fuck? Woohoo! Oh my god. Yep. Oh my god! I gotta turn the boat so I can cast.
Alright, we are back. Man, as much as I want to put the AC on, it is quite loud, so it's alright. That is okay. Let me go ahead and get my headphones set up. Alright. So, let us tie some green crab flies. Go ahead and tie one for our good friend Mr. Yo It's Okay. And some for ourselves as well. Alright. So, what sort of hooks are we going to use here? Let's use a 2-aught tarpon if we're going for tying one for Yo It's Okay here. We want a big enough hook. I think a 2-aught tarpon's a good hook for a blackfish. Kind of the shape and whatnot for a blackfish fly. Should be alright. So, we'll go ahead. We'll probably use some red and black dumbbell eyes on there. That very much so fits. Now, I don't think we're using crab bodies. Now, we could color the tan crab body olive, which now we're on to something. We might need to do that, actually. That actually might be what we do. I kind of like that idea. Because I didn't have any olive bodies. I think we used them all, if I'm not wrong. But I do have an olive marker. Now, the thing is, though, blackfish very much so work on scent. So, Yo It's Okay, he's got to dunk this in a gulp container. You know what I mean? I think that honestly would probably increase your blackfish odds so much. I know it's a little corny, but first time I ever did that with shark fishing. Get a little bunker oil on that shark fly. Alright. It washes off anyway, but can make a difference. All right, so we got some olive arms, if I'm not wrong. So we're going to use one of these here, and these are just pieces of chenille that were tied and folded and then burned, so they have these clean ends. And they probably a little bit of just some Sharpie on there and like a lighter is really all you need to make these, but they're just knotted pieces of chenille if you ever wanted to make them. A lot of patience. Yep, that is I'm sure a prominent feature in trying to get a blackfish on the fly for sure. Yeah, you see a lot of orange, you see a lot of like black and green on these green crabs. I actually go and AC Fishing has crab pots, and we go get green crabs for black fishermen all around the island. He sells them. So, let's see. What are we going to do here? We got our body. We got the arms. I think I do want to keep it pretty clean. So I'm just going to go with a little bit of... I think orange would be cool looking. Kind of like to represent like the guts of the crab almost, because they have a really funky looking inside. We'll do something like this. And we'll do what we did last time, where we kind of push it through the body. It was kind of cool, actually. Otherwise, we'll keep it pretty simple. I'll just tie that on there like that. Tie that down. Okay. Now, oh, I did kind of screw myself over by putting those eyes on there, huh? That's okay. We're going to poke it from the top. I forgot this one's nice and large, so might as well do that right now. Forgot this hook's actually long enough for us to use it. We'll go ahead and put that right near the back, or right as far back as I can without it ripping. That is, so we can get the full maximum crab size. Poke that up through there just to kind of put it out of the way for now, and that looks good. I do have these nice orange and black legs we'll use as well. We'll go ahead. I think we do the leg first, and this one's going to be facing pretty far back. As we did on the first one, where they fold back as they're swimming. Then we could tie this one forward, and we'll fold it back after like this. Actually, tie it up to here like that. That's good. Okay. Excuse me. And I'm probably going to go pretty heavy on the resin on this one, because this sinks pretty quick if we're going for blackfish. So we'll cut these in half. We don't need them to be that long. And we should probably just tie them on top if we can, actually. It'll be a little bit easier when we fold it over, huh? It only took 3 of them for me to think about that. It's a little bit harder to tie them on there because of the hook point in this crab body, but that's okay. Kind of get that even. Fold that back and tie on top of it. Now we can go ahead and put our first eye on here, I think. I do want this to be pretty prominent, so I'm going to leave a pretty good tag, or pretty good, have it have it sticking pretty far out so I can adjust it. Like this, essentially. Add a couple more legs here. I like these orange and black legs. They're pretty cool looking. I think they fit even though it's not the perfect color for the exact anatomically correct green crab, it looks pretty cool. So you've seen a lot of green crab jigs for blackfish. They use a lot of bright orange too. Maybe because it's just easier to see at deeper depths. Who knows? Okay. Go ahead and fold. Oh, my bad, my bad. I forgot. We got to put another eye on there. Almost forgot. This will be sticking towards the front. We can adjust that. And then what I can do is fold this back now. I can always kind of, if I need to push that in a little bit, move this around. Vice versa. Pretty good. I like it. And one thing we need to do is separate this orange orange hair here. And then we could tie that on. Perfect. Very nice. We got the eyes on there. We got the legs. I guess technically, I guess you want that leg, or you want this eye behind that leg. But I think they can also move their, they can move their legs to the side, so it doesn't really matter. Looks pretty cool either way. Yeah, we'll have that sticking out. That looks good. Nice and big old obvious eye on there. Hey, look at me. I got an eye. Come meet me, Blackfish. I'm just a regular green crab. All right. This is where we go with the resin here. So if we need to, for instance, I can kind of, you know, we'll keep the leg facing forward because it does look pretty cool like that. Does look pretty cool like that, I gotta admit. If we're gonna do it, let's do it right. That looks pretty good. We don't gotta get too crazy with it. I'm gonna apply the resin underneath here like that, and then just press it down essentially like I did last time. Kind of go all around here. Oop. And like lock this down. And what I can do now is adjust this. Kind of push that resin down so it spreads all around, gets on our rubber legs, gets on the hook shank, everything, the eyes, those claws, and kind of locks it down. You can also kind of hold this in place if you actually want to adjust it. Now we can hit that with the light. This thing will have no problem sinking down, that's for sure. I can always kind of move that eye too if I want. Kind of get that eye in a little bit more obvious position. Same thing with the other one. Because we want those to be nice and prominent. I think blackfish have pretty good eyes. If I'm not wrong, but watching videos of blackfish, like messing around with crabs and stuff like that's pretty interesting. I know my buddy Montauk Fishing out in, or one of my customers, he got some pretty cool footage of that. With those like lone wolf cameras or something. I forgot what they're called. You can like put them down. They're almost like a weight you can put on your line. And it looks down towards the hook. It's pretty interesting. Hit this with the light again. Our second coat here, and we're looking good. We can hit this with a marker. Yeah, so we're going to be streaming again on Friday as well, by the way. So doing some more fly tying. We're trying to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Unfortunately, or fortunately, Monday, my buddy came out, so we ended seeing him and hanging out. But we're shooting for Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the afternoons at some point. So got started a little bit later than I wanted to today, but had to get things ready after clamming. So this is looking pretty good, though. I like this. It's flex resin, too. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, the flex resin is great for crab flies. I think it's like the mandatory crab fly thing because it just works so well. Should probably hit this from the top. I think some of that resin came through the crab body. One thing I hate about working with resin is getting it on my hands. It's just so annoying to, you have to scrub pretty good to get this stuff off. It's not as bad as some other stuff that I use, though, so. It's looking pretty good, though. Very nice. Now we can go ahead. I have a couple different colors of olive, actually, so let me go ahead with this darker one. It's actually a pretty old marker. I don't know if it's going to do much, but let's see. It's pretty dried out. Doing something. Kind of get a nice little coat of some darker green on here and then hit it with some olive. Already looks pretty good like that. It's a little light though. And we got these nice, what are these called? The prism markers? Oh no, the Copic sketch markers. These are actually really nice markers. Pretty expensive too. Great for fly tying stuff though. Particularly well, not clousers, I'm sorry. Crease flies. They're great for crease flies working on like, that's why I got them in the first place. Or got that one color, I should say. I was like, I ain't getting a set, that's for sure. One's good for me. Let's add some. They weren't crazy expensive, but like even like $6 for marker, $8. I'm like, geez. But I've had that thing for years, so. Go ahead and a couple black dots on here. Maybe even do it on the arms too. Add a little bit more variation. And there we go. We got a nice Blackfish green crab fly. So this one we'll give to our buddy Oh It's Okay. And see what he can do with it. Maybe out somewhere in the sound somewhere. Not too shabby. I like it, I like it, I like it. I think I want to see if I can get just a teeny bit of resin in the back here and lock this down. Right in the back. Just hit that with the light real quick. Yeah. There we go. That's perfect. Moistening. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, very nice. I like it. I like it, I like it. Alright. Let's go ahead and tie another crab or two. It's getting freaking hot in here. I'll definitely be sitting in the backyard after this, enjoying some nice cool air. It's still pretty hot outside, believe it or not, but it's time in the day where it's starting to cool down a little bit. Is that a sea robin? No, it's a crab, god damn it. What do you mean, fearmonger? No, I know, it's a good old Asian green crab. Now, we don't Tie sea robins. I catch sea robins. Trying to catch striped bass. That's my specialty. That's my specialty. All right. I do have another one of these crab bodies. Let's go ahead and use it. It does have very sea robin-esque colors. I would say a little bit more brown, tannish is the go-to sea robin color and stuff. You know what I mean? But the angle didn't help. You're totally right. All right. So, we got one more crab body here. Let's go ahead and use this. Do the same dealio here. I'm going to do it right now. Just to get it out of the way. Well, now I'm definitely going to have to go do some fishing somewhere with these crab flies because I have a majillion of them. And they don't ship very well in envelopes. So the post office doesn't like that. A red, white, and blue fly? True. We should. You're totally right. We'll have to do that. Who is, I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was Microvert. Microvert used to do stuff like that. He's like, tie like a red, white, and blue fly or something for their certain colors. Might have been somebody else. No, Microvert used to just make fun of me. He was my mod. All right. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm pretty sure we've done one. So we should do a red, white, and blue semper fly. That's, to me, the most American fly. Because the semper fly is created by Bob Popovich, and it's named after the Marine Corps. Semper Fidelis, so. It's hard to beat that one. And it's easy to do red, white, and blue. I should have the hackle. We'll do one before the end, because I'm probably not streaming tomorrow. Good idea, Gabe. Good one. Alright. Put these eyes. I'm going to try and experiment. Put the eyes a little bit further back. Well, I guess we kind of did it like this far back or one of the times. Sometimes I wonder what it's like if we do it like bare in the middle. Because especially with the epoxy, it's going to turn up no problem. Turn upside down like that. I do like the nice, simple, clean ones where we're just hitting it with UV resin from the bottom. Couple rubber legs. Those claws are nice, but let's try something different. Maybe let's use some natural material for claws. You're tying one? Nice, very nice. Yeah, you can also use hackle for claws. So we can always just kind of get a little funky with it. Just use some hackle here. Kind of like that. Even though it's not the prettiest thing, it does do a pretty good job of kind of looking like a crab claw to a fish's eye, I'm assuming. Get one more there. That'll be facing the other way. Claws sorted. Let's go ahead and get some rubber legs here. So what I'll do is tie some tan rubber legs in. I don't have fancy eyes for this one, but that's okay. I normally don't use them myself anyway. Just put some rubber legs in there, give us that buggy look. We'll put another claw in here in a sec. Probably right now. This one will be shorter. Also like this. Because these will also taper down in the water, they won't necessarily look like this. It'll be much more subtle. Go ahead and lock these down. Very nice, kind of like this. And tie these like so, and there we go. Pretty simple and semi-clunky looking crab fly, but that's okay. It'll be easy enough to hit this with some resin and lock this down. Let's go ahead and do that. Well, first, before I forget, tie this one off. Now we can hit it with some resin. Trying not to catch these rubber legs and have them get covered in resin, because feathers, certain things, bucktail has a tendency to just spring back and grab the front end of the bottle and get covered in resin and ruin half your fly, so you gotta be careful. So I just let these kind of spring back to how they were. Make sure I hit near the back where the tail goes. Okay, that's looking good. And kind of move that how I like it. Then we can go ahead and hit this with the light. I'll go ahead and hit it with another coat on the bottom as well, to help turn it over and also help lock it down as well. I like these little rubber legs kind of dangling off. Definitely add to the strike factor of getting a striped bass to be convinced. I'll go ahead and hit it again to help add some weight to the fly, have it turn over. Again, if I was in really shallow water trying to fish for striped bass, I don't know if I'd use this because this is a little heavy, but there are times where it's windy and whatnot. We're not always sight fishing, too, when I'm fishing the flats. Sometimes I'll just post up. Hit that with the light real quick. Yeah, it'll be fun. Even just going near some estuaries where there's some flats and whatnot, those places are filled with crabs. So you can go even middle of the day. These fish come out in the middle of the day and feed, looking for incoming water, throwing crab flies in pretty clear water. Now, having a boat and getting out to the right places really helps. Then you're doing good. But you can do this from shore. You can. I've done it. Definitely helps getting to the right. Like in our area, we have a lot of offshore flats where the flats are further out, where they're out in the middle of the bay. Comes from like 10, 13, 14 foot of water at times, or like more often 9 or 10, and comes up to like a foot of water or something, right? Man, I got resin all over my hands. I guess it soaks in pretty good. I thought it was pretty viscous and it wouldn't, but it looks like it's actually soaking in pretty good. Because I'm getting resin on my hand every time I do it. Every time I press in on that crab body. Didn't seem like it would, but lo and behold. So we'll just hit this with the light real quick one more time, especially on top so I don't get resin on my markers. We have some nice looking crabs here though for some flats fishing. We'll do the same thing first. Hit it with this darker color. And again, I think this thing's pretty shot at this point, but it does still work. I just gotta have to work for it. There we go. All right, I'm done with that. This time, what other colors can we add? A little bit of olive. This is for our natural camouflage on the, even though it's a tan crab, just adding some accent and stuff like that. Can just add some more natural looking to it, especially something like a calico. Calicos have some pretty cool colors in them. Calicos, lady crabs, blue claws, green crabs. There's so many different crab species out there for them to be eating. Spider crabs. I don't know about spider crabs, but you never know, to be honest with you, with these things. BDM TVP, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. By the way, I hope you folks are having an awesome night and a good pre-4th of July. Okay. Let's go ahead and tie... Speaking of which, let's tie a Semper fly. Created by Bob Popovics for striped bass, surf fishing in particular. Named after Semper Fidelis, after the Marine Corps. The saying. And we're going to do it in red, blue, and white. Hell yeah, brother. For 4th of July. That's right. Give it up. Round of applause. Hopefully this isn't going to be loud. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Got some red. Got some white. I like that little ow at the end or whatever that chick does. We got some blue. I think I have some more blue. Yeah. Very nice. Now, it'd be nice to have a little bit darker blue, but... Oh, yes, I do. Nice. Oh, yeah. Schlopping. Oh, yeah, we're getting schlopping. All right. So it needs to be red, white, and blue. But I kind of want to do white, blue, and red. You know what I mean? Because that just kind of looks better. Or almost we do white, then red, and then blue. But you got to be careful because then at some point, we're getting close to the French flag territory. All right? And freedom fries. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I mean? Isn't that right, Jerry? Mm-hmm. All right. So, maybe we actually do it red, white, and blue. How about that? So we do it right. So we'll start with blue. Because I think the blue will be off the back. Because which way are you going to be seeing it? I guess you're going to be seeing it the other way. But technically from the front. So red, white, blue. That's how we're doing it. Yeah, front of the hook never changes, so. I don't know why that would matter, but. Okay. What size hook are we using for a nice Semper fly for the surf? Maybe a 2-aught or a 3-aught? I think I got some 2-aught Gamakatsus. Yeah, these will work. You know what, though? I think a 3-aught would be better. 3-aught big game. You should have some. It's not hard. It's hard to miss them because they're so dang big. The packs are extra thick. Yeah, there we go. 3-aught big games. By the way, they got rid of these. They don't even make the 3-odds at the moment. Supposedly they are, but I haven't seen any anywhere, so I really hope they do because this is the hook that I used for giant trevally flies for saltwaterflies.com, or for our deceivers. And people were taking them giant trevally fishing and catching tons of fish, so that says something. If these hooks can manage giant trevally, you know what I mean? They're pretty darn strong. I think they're worthy of their name, the big game hook. Now they changed them. They made them skinnier, made them thinner, but supposedly they're stronger. So we'll see, but I do love these hooks. They are very big and they're just big hooks for sure. They definitely have some meat to them, but that's why I liked them. I never even broke a hook point once fishing on the North Shore, hitting rocks, because you hit rocks all the time. I would just bend the hook point on it, and you could just bend it back with like pliers and keep fishing. It was sick. All right, we're going to use some hackle for the back here. But we're doing blue. I forgot. We'll do a little white and blue. off the back, because that looks cool, right? We'll build up some different colors. We're allowed to have some artistic liberty here on this beautiful July 3rd. It's like, what do you call it? What's the term that they use for people who like not traitor. I'm trying to think of the official term for somebody who gets caught like going against the government or something. Like a federal crime. They're like working against the United States. They're like, he put white with the blue in the tail. It's supposed to be red, white, and blue, asshole. Or something. I forgot the official term for that. Somebody probably knows it. Maybe not. Maybe it is. Not like a traitor or something. There's like an official term for it. I forgot what it's called. So, forgive me for adding a little blue, all right? Or a little white to the tail, but we're getting there. We're getting there. The Semperfly is all about that hackle. All about that Palmer. We can add a little bit of flash. What do we think for the 4th of July flash? I'm thinking some nice, just standard silver. Just classic silver. Right? I think it complements American colors pretty nice. Gold too, but I mean, do we do gold a lot? You know what I mean? And like I feel like silver. Maybe gold. My reasoning, I have a bunch of silver flash here. So, but I think it also does fit it pretty good. But I also have a ton of it right here, so we're going to use that. Okay. Now we can Palmer. So we're going to go red, white, blue. So we're starting with some blue first. Red, white, and blue Semperfly. Hell yeah. But seriously, I do hope everyone has an awesome 4th of July tomorrow. I'm probably working tomorrow in the morning and then hanging out a bit and then probably going to my buddy's place for some drinks and a little bit of, barbecue or something, some crabs, some blue claws. But Friday we will be streaming on the 5th, so after I get done clamming. What are we going to tie? I don't know. We had some fun with some like crab flies. I was enjoying tying crab flies. I wonder what some more. We did some juvenile fluke imitations recently because my hypothesis of what do you call it? The striped bass eating the juvenile fluke that I saw those seagulls figuring out as well. So it'd be pretty cool to try that, but that's definitely something you need a boat. It's like way out in the middle of the bay in the channel. It's pretty interesting, actually. I shouldn't speak early, but it looks like we haven't dropped any frames this stream, which is awesome. So we're going to Palmer a little bit of lighter blue in here. You could totally go into the end of the hackle here where it's nice and fluffy. I love doing that with these Semperflies. Helps build up the body and whatnot. Now we can add some white. This is where so we have blue. We do have some white in the tail just for some accent color. Looks nice. So let's see. Do I have a big chunky white feather? Ooh, I actually kind of do. Look at this. This is almost like a Schlappen hackle right here. Schlappen feather almost. From that Chinese saddle patch. That's cool. Take that. So now we'll Palmer some white in here. What sort of red, white, and blue fly are you tying, Gabe? You doing some musky stuff? You got bit by the musky fly bug or something, apparently, you said? Yeah, I was trying to think of some other musky fly tires, but you know what you should check out? Which you might not know, but it's called uh, Canal Gratus TV or something. KANALGRATOISE or something. It's like they're either now. Oh God, I don't want to be an a-hole, but they're either like Swedish or like uh, from Denmark or Norway, places like that area of the world, and they have tons and tons of pike, and they're tying essentially musky flies or pike flies. But you should really check it out. You'll probably get some really cool inspiration. They do a lot of tube flies over there, and Nicholas Bauer, I think I want to say is his name. Oh, that's how you spell it right there, Gabe, by the way. It's Canal Gratis. I thought there was like an OTISE, but yeah. Very, very cool channel, and they do a bunch of pike fishing, massive giant pike over in Sweden and Norway and places like that. So you should check out their flies for some inspiration for musky flies. I was thinking about that the other day when you asked in Discord. So check them out. I think you won't be disappointed. There's some really cool stuff. I've been watching them for years, so. Do I have some different white hackle? Let's see. Like some bigger stuff. There we go. That works. Do we have something? I could go with marabou, but I'm trying to just find the right hackle, essentially. Something big enough. There you go. Whatever. We'll just use this. That works. I'm using the back end of it where it's a little fluffy, too. But you're tying a lefty deceiver? Alright, nice. I'll see a lot of musky flies on Discord. Alright, cool. Yeah, I wish I could target musky, man. We don't really have musky out here. I think there is one place that has stocked tiger musky or something, but I don't think it's like a serious thing. I would want to fish for like wild musky. But very cool, very cool. I love that sort of fly tying too. It's very heavily based off saltwater fly tying, if you ask me. You know, a lot of Popovic's inspiration, other stuff like that. Because saltwater flies were tying big flies long before the musky and pike stuff got super popular. But then again, all the saltwater stuff got inspiration from freshwater back in the day anyway, so it doesn't matter. So now we're going with the red. We got our red, white, and blue Semperfly. Hell yeah, brother. Kokona, give it up again. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Or pre-4th of July. Stay safe out there. Don't get too crazy this tomorrow. I'm going to go skateboard over like a couple blocks over and go hang out at my buddy's place. So, you just want to tie musky flies? Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, those musky flies will work for striped bass. As long as you're not using like tandem hooks and stuff, you know, because I never do that for striped bass, but all those musky flies are pretty much striped bass flies too, vice versa. They may not be exactly, you know, imitating this thing or something, whatever. They're just big old streamer flies, you know? So have fun tying them. You could probably fish them for striped bass. Like that big one you tied with those colors, 100% that's a striped bass fly. If not like a giant tide runner weakfish fly, because it has that yellow kind of tiger color, which is apparently really popular in certain areas for weakfish. So why you tie them? Nice. Yeah, very cool. I just wanted to make sure you know, because those flies are amazing. Make sure you use them. Because that musky one looked really cool. I like the look of it. All right. Do one more red hackle here, and then we'll be good to go on this sucker. Unfortunately, I don't really have like any really thick red hackle for a nice perfect palmer, but big old rat fly, there you go. Yeah, we should tie some rat flies and try and catch striped bass in like urban areas. I wouldn't be surprised, dude. There's tons of rats in places out here. There's tons of places where the striped bass are like feeding right next to like major like towns and stuff like that. Because the rivers where the striped bass connect to the bay, they go up into places. Hogan probably knows some place I'm thinking of. The trout eat mice and stuff like that and rats. So who knows? They'd probably just eat it out of curiosity. I don't know if I've ever seen a video or like I don't know if anyone's ever documented a striped bass eating a rat in like New York City and Jamaica Bay or something. Probably something probably eats them, right? Eventually, they probably drowned and crabs eat them, but those things also probably swim like psychos. Rats are no joke, bro. They're like fighters. I was watching a video. It was funny. It was just all cats like completely ignoring rats and being scared of them. It's this guy Joseph the Mink Man. He's got minks and dogs, and he goes to farms and takes care of rat infestations. Really cool, really cool. It's like an old art almost. So how Jack Russell Terriers were bred and developed and came to be is from that sort of stuff over in England and Ireland or Scotland. But he uses minks and dogs. Very cool. But he did a video on cats and how cats are not effective against rats at all unless they're like they're like ultra feral cats and they've been living out in the wild forever. And they're still domesticated cats, but they're feral. They're just pretty much wild at that point. And also the terrible thing, unfortunately, about cats is that cats, what do you call it? Cats just kill everything else, unfortunately. Like all the birds and stuff. I love cats, but I had a cat before. It was just murdering everything. Unfortunately, there's natural killers, but they don't kill the serious threats like the rats. Unfortunately, you need like a mink or like a good old Jack Russell Terrier. You know what I mean? But it was very interesting. It was pretty cool to see. Because I thought like even house cats would probably kill a rat, but you got to realize rats are massive. They're like huge. We're talking, like you think about like a full-grown adult-sized rat, even ones down by the bridge here or something. We're not talking about like New York City ones. They're massive. And they could probably fight back like pretty hard. And you see them, they're jumping, they're like attacking the cat. They're like jumping at the tack and like doing backflips and like doing like posturing and doing all this crazy shit. And the cat's like, nope, I'm out. This is too much. I didn't know that. I thought cats would go for rats, but you probably need that special like badass cat that wears sunglasses, like hits on the jukebox, and the song comes on like Fonz, like the Fonz cat or something. And then you'll be good. But big as a mink? Oh my god. Yeah, I've seen the biggest rats I've ever seen were in I think it was Queens. Or I forgot. We went to like a mosque in the city back in the day. And me and the other kids would hang out and like look out the window. You'd see like rats carrying like a hot dog bun down the road or something. And these things were like fucking the biggest rodents I've ever seen. They're bigger than squirrels, right? Like the bodies are like this big. And then the tails are even longer. And you see them and they're like fighting each other in the streets. It's like, holy cow, this is crazy out here. It's like in some random small place where there was like a little mosque in like Queens, or it might have even been Harlem. We were traveling really far back in the day. And I remember I was like, I've never seen anything like that in Long Island. That's a whole nother breed. These things have like, there's like coliseums underneath New York City where there's rats and they're like fighting each other on like chipmunks or something, like mounted combat. These things are no joke. They have a whole kingdom over there. Yeah, if you're by the sea or the coast, yeah. So we're by the jetties and the rocks and stuff like that. By the way, check out this red, white, and blue Semperfly. Can we give it up again? Round of applause, everybody. That's right. Happy 4th of July. Mother flipping Independence Day, the day Will Smith and fucking Jeff Goldblum defeated the aliens. That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, Independence Day is such a good movie. It's such a good movie. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out and watching. We got a nice couple hours of fly tying in here. Again, we're streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, at least for a couple hours. Sometimes I'll try and squeeze in maybe like a nice 3 or 4 hour session. It was super hot today on the boat, so I'm exhausted. But I need to figure out like maybe to tweak the settings on my what do you call it, on my microphone so I can run the AC in the background. But the only issue is the AC is literally like 10 feet away, so it's a little tough. I'm using a condenser mic. I should probably upgrade to a cardioid mic or whatever at some point. But that's all right. So it picks up stuff in the background. You know what I mean? As opposed to the front face of the mic. So that being said, it's hot as hell. All right, so I'm going to go hang out in the backyard, enjoy my White Claws, and enjoy some nice cool air. But thank you so much for hanging out, chat. I hope you folks have an awesome night. Thank you again for the new follows. I do appreciate that. The resubs as well. And thank you for spending some time. Friday we're going to be tying something, I don't know what. If you have any suggestions, put them in the Discord. I'll take a look. I know Craggerol suggested some swimmin' Jimmy or something like that. Some sort of bait fish fly. So maybe we can get around to tying that as well, because I know it's been a little while. But recently I've just been tying some stuff, whatever, the time of year and the atmosphere, whatever I'm feeling from the water every day, because we're out there clamming every day. So I'm like driving past the water, checking it out, seeing flats, boats, and this and that. So I'm like, all right, we're whipping up some crab flies today. You know what I mean? But thank you so much for hanging out, Southern Fly Guy. JSL, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Maybe I'll see you again at some point. Hit me up if you're coming out at all, by the way. Doc, Gabe, thank you so much. Marcus in here. Appreciate you folks for hanging out and watching some fly tying. Any of the new follows as well over here on Twitch. But again, I'll see you folks on Friday. All right. Have a happy 4th of July and take it easy out there. All right. And stay safe. So until Friday. All right, take it easy, Doc. We'll see you, folks. Hey, Rockfish Buster, you have a happy 4th of July as well. All right, I'll see you folks on Friday. We're going to be streaming around 2:30 or 3, okay? So I'll let you know in the Discord. All right.